We are going to be doing animal mashups today. And when I thought of this lesson, I don't know why I even thought of it. I guess I just felt like I wanted to paint animals, but maybe like in a less conventional way. So what you will need for today are photographs of animals. I have this really great calendar of farm animals. You might also want to have, keep your internet handy, obviously, and you might want to do some Google searches for animals as well. So one of the artists that inspired me for this lesson plan is Hieronymus Bosch. If y'all are familiar with his Garden of Earthly Delights painting. If not, please look it up. But I found, yay, Lisa, I'm glad you made it. I did find this hilarious article about a guy who made piñatas based on the creatures of this painting. So the Garden of Earthly Delights was painted like in the 1400s. I think the date is not clear when he painted it, but he included these characters and these creatures in it that are just so wild, and a lot of people just don't really know why, like what the meaning was behind them. They think it may have been like a cautionary painting to caution people against like excess and greed. But if you check out that link, there's some hilarious piñata creatures that were made based on that painting. And if you look up the painting, it's just pretty wild in general. Or just type in Hieronymus Bosch creatures into your Google search, and there are some pretty amazing images that come up. I think another thing that inspired me to do this lesson is when I'm doing self-portraiture, I'm always thinking about how to mash my face with another animal or character. And I did find some great self-portraits by Judy Chicago, who actually, you might know her for her dinner party piece. I think she did it in the 70s. Can't even remember. But she has recently done a bunch of paintings of her cats and herself with her cats' portraits. So I'm going to share that here right now, and you can look her up as well, Judy Chicago. So I'm not sure what's going to happen today. I thought what we could do is try some drawing exercises based on these characters in front of us, our animals, and just see what happens. And you might invent some really cool creatures. I hope y'all were able to Google animal mashups, like just to do an image search, because there are some really wild creatures, and I think often really scary creatures. I just sent a link, like just really scary, funny, weird. And I don't know, I always just love like what happens when you, like there's an app where you can put your face on other faces and stuff. And I always just love like playing with stuff like that. So we're going to play with that today and see what happens. So I think to start with, we'll just draw. I'm going to work with my markers, and you can do whatever drawing tool you prefer. You might even want to paint, it's up to you. But just to keep it easy, we'll start with some drawing and find a creature that just speaks to you, or there's something about them that, or the picture even, that you just like love. And you might get a couple of them. I'm going to use this. This is a sheep named Bumblebee. This is from a catalog, farm in England called Cane Hill Countryside Center, and they're like an animal rescue farm. And they have a Instagram page that I love. So I know all the characters. This is Bumblebee. So I'm going to just start with doing a contour drawing of just the outline of the animal, whichever animal you choose. And like I said, we're going to try different things today. So let's just do an outline. Contour doesn't have to be perfect. And if you want to do a couple of these, feel free, try out some different outlines of animals. Animals have just, I mean, it depends on which one you're drawing, but for the most part, you know, an octopus, a giraffe, there's so many wonderful shapes that the animal can be. I'm feeling compelled to also draw an octopus. I'm going to do that on the back side, and I'm going to just do the outline of the octopus form. And I want to find one that has a lot of like really cool tentacles and negative shapes and stuff. So I have one here. Again, I'm just doing the outline. I'm not going to get into detail right now. Okay, so once you've done a couple of these outlines, the next thing we'll try doing is we're going to give these things a face. So find a face of a different animal to plug into your shape. And you know, if it's in a different animal species, all the better. Let me see here. Or you might add it to the shape somehow. Okay, I've got this cow head, and I'm going to attempt to draw that here. We'll see what happens. And of course, it doesn't have to be perfect. If you want to do collage also, please do. A lot of the links of, you know, of mashups are done in Photoshop. You could also give your creature a couple of faces, a couple of heads. If you're familiar with any of those artificial intelligence um, drawings where the computer would draw what it thought, like given all the data and knowledge it had, it would draw what it thought a cat would look like. And these drawings were just out of control, bizarre. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can just do a Google search for artificial intelligence animal drawing. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to try another face on here. My cow head looks kind of weird. Maybe I'll try the other side. This is a little more obvious, so I can give this a different face. I'm thinking maybe a bird face. Something way different. Like not even a mammal. Okay. And then for the body, I thought, let's look up a texture on an animal. Again, that's way out of the range of mammal here. And let's apply that texture to the body of our creature. So you might look up a snake texture, bird texture, fish. I think I'm going to do some bird feathers here and find something that I could use in this body. A caterpillar. Actually, I may do a caterpillar print on this animal. So, oof, you all know I have a big fear and fascination for caterpillars. So I think I'm going to use, oh my gosh, okay. Sometimes it's hard for me to even like touch the screen. Okay, I'm going to grab a new color of marker for this. Okay. I feel like these creatures can really represent like some kind of shadow persona a little bit. And then is there something you want to get rid of? Like, I think I want to paint out these legs and truly like horrify myself with this caterpillar duck creature. So I'm going to take some white paint and just try to paint this out. I'm not sure how, or cover it if you have a piece of paper. If you want to get rid of something, go ahead and do that. Or just keep adding. Okay, just gonna. I'm still recovering from we're still working through our leftovers, our Thanksgiving leftovers. But doing this assignment, I'm reminded of the turducken. And, truly, that is a horrifying idea to me. I don't know if anyone's ever tried a turducken, but yikes. Okay. I mean, I'm starting to kind of creep myself out over here. I don't know how you all are doing. I want to color in this duck bill a little bit. So, of course, there's a lot of different ways that you can go about making an animal mashup. I thought we would just try a couple things to just see where it takes us. I'm feeling compelled to color this in. Okay, and then I'm just going to give it a white. A regular old goose head here, or duck head. Actually, it was a goose that I drew. And so, yeah, I'm going about this with no idea what's going to emerge, what's going to come out of this. You could, I mean, if you look up the animal mashups and you just see a creature there that's really wild, you could just go ahead and draw that. But it's kind of fun to see what happens if you try to do your own also. Okay. I'm going to go back to my bumblebee sheep and try to develop this out just a little bit more in the face. And I want to also then move on to a different approach here. But it is hard to resist. I mean, once you get started with this, you kind of can let your mind or your imagination just sort of take off from here and just see what develops. There's always other fun things you can add, like horns. um, or antenna, wings, anything like that. There's so many like cool, weird animal parts that you could add onto your creature. Um, so here's where mine is so far. Yikes. Um, I want to talk a little bit about exquisite corpse and that approach, and we'll try that for our next drawing. So exquisite corpse, if you're not familiar with what that is, it is I thought I had the link up here. Let me find it. It's a game I used to play as a kid. And it was originally like, I guess it started with the surrealists. But I remember what we would do is we would, see, I'm going to share this here. You would start a drawing, you'd start like the head of something. I hope that works. You can just look up exquisite corpse, Wikipedia. And one person would draw a head, and then the next person would draw a body, and then the next person would draw feet. And you would fold the paper over each time, and the person wouldn't know what was there. So they wouldn't know what they were adding to. And this technique was invented by surrealists. Is similar to an old parlor game called Consequences, in which people wrote on paper and would fold that to conceal the writing and pass it on to the next person, et cetera, et cetera. And then they started doing it with pictures and drawings. So I thought we could kind of play a little game on ourselves. If you're in the studio today with a friend, this would be really fun, collaborative piece to do together. But I thought we could try to fool ourselves a little bit and maybe take our paper and fold it into 3 or 4 parts, whatever is easiest for you. They don't even have to be like even. I'm going to just do 3 parts today and see what happens. But we're going to try to just play a little game with ourselves here. So in the first third of the picture, I actually want to start the face, the head of this creature that we're going to draw in the second part of or in closer to the middle of it. So we'll start first with some kind of a face, a head, whatever it is you want to do. You could do your favorite pet. You could do a self-portrait. I'm feeling really compelled to do a self-portrait. I'm not going to lie, but let's see. You could do your favorite animal. Something, elephants have a really, I love their trunk. So maybe an elephant could be a fun face to start with. Lisa, that's fun. I'm going to start with an elephant because, like, what a wonderful, majestic creature. So I'm going to start with an elephant face. And I'm actually going to try to do a little mashup here as for the face, like combine 2 faces. Now, I used this as my cover picture. This was like a quick thing I did last night. It actually started with a portrait I had made. Remember when I did the smiling portrait video? It started with a little sketch I had made with that, and then I superimposed this cat head on top of the portrait. So you could try to do something like that, where you're combining 2 different faces, just for some pretty wild stuff. Okay. So yeah, with whatever head or face you're going to make, right now. Try to make it a conglomeration, that's the right word, of two heads in whatever way that's going to work out for you. So maybe I'll do some elephant ears. Some tusks. And I want to do a cat. So there might be a texture or something you want to apply to the face, some kind of color. Do a little bit of Another thing you can try is just making a collage out of different animals, collaging them together, and then trying to draw a replication of that. But again, like I said, I just think it's fun to see what happens. You just kind of try to push it. So I've got this kitty cat, elephant. I do want to put some kind of a texture on the ears. I had seen somewhere, and I think I'm going to take the idea. I had seen some butterfly wings for ears, for elephant ears. Um, maybe. I'll just do something. You can also I think I'm just going to do some green for the ears, just to try something different. kind of looks like its own little funny creature like that. I almost don't even want to ruin it. It's so good. Okay. So from here, let's see, I guess fold one side down and start another part of this, maybe add legs or a body or something, and see what happens. So I think I'm going to do this duck's body. I just like that. It's kind of simple. And if someone is in your studio with you working today, why not just trade off with them? And then try it the other way also. Okay. I'm going to add let's see, I'm going to add some kind of antenna, I think, to this, or wings or tentacles. I think I'm going to look up a spider. Or possibly another head if you wish. Okay. Oh my goodness, I just saw something I wish I hadn't seen. Oof. Okay. Wow. All right. Trying to find a good spider image. Okay. All righty. Here we go. We'll see what happens. I'm going to kind of do like the body of the spider. So I did like the lower half of a spider body. This circle here is begging me for a face, for another face, even though that's going to be kind of creepy. Um, I'm going to do it. Hmm. A really pretty picture of a peacock over here. If I could do that. The face. Okay. I'm going to do a dog face. This is one of those dogs that has floppy ears. I'm going to do a reveal. Pretty bizarre. So from here, you can just keep working this creature and seeing what else you want to add to it or take away. I kind of liked it just a little guy in the beginning. But I like the idea of putting the face of a large creature on a small creature's body. So there's a lot of bird dogs out there. So that's going to be my third and final exercise. So I'm going to again start with an elephant head because I just love like the different shapes that you can get. This great trunk here. Here's my elephant head, and then I'm going to put it on. I'm going to just do a bird also. I'll just do some kind of a bird body. I just typed in bird to see what would come up. Oh, thanks, Lisa. I can imagine you're coming up with some cool things. Okay. Got a lot of different birds to choose from. First is I want to get the position of the body Correct. So I'm going to use this bird. And you just might invent a whole new cast of characters this way. Maybe this is, yeah, the makings of a comic book or something. I know, like, when I look at like like fictional animals, like in science fiction and stuff, a lot of times there'll be mashups of different animals, and they're really cool. Let's do that. So I'm just going to fill this in with a little bit of paint. I'm often better at rendering things through paint than drawing them. It helps me, I can see them a little better when I paint them. Has anyone out there seen Invasion of the Body Snatchers from the 70s? There is a scene where a dog runs up to the camera and it has a man's face. And as a child, I saw that. And who knows what that did to me, but it still haunts me. And if you look it up, which I did one time, it's really scary. I will let you look that up yourself. Dog with man's face, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. It's terrifying. Okay, because could you imagine if you actually saw any of these creatures in real life? So, our little guy here, I kind of love him though. I want to give him a different color face. I think I'm going to give him like a purple face. I know, like I'm actually feeling a little, I kind of feel some like sympathy for my little character here. Kind of like it. I hope all of you are creating weird characters that you're enjoying. Okay, I'm going to give my guy a little purple face. So yeah, you could run in a lot of directions with this. You could make these hyper realistic. or just keep doing these kind of fantastical creatures. I'm going to bring some of this purple down into the body also. Makes me want to do an animal totem pole for sure. Yeah, just like stack all the faces and such on top of each other. I saw a really cute Christmas design that was all like it was a Christmas tree and it was just cat heads. And it was kind of excellent. Okay, well, these are my three creatures that I came up with today. 1, 2, and 3. I'm not sure what you all came up with. You know, you could do things like cut up your characters some more and compile them some more. I'm feeling like I just like these guys like this, and I might work on them a little bit more, but this is just a starting point for future fun. So hopefully this gives you some ideas for the future. My apologies for the confusion with the links today. And thank you so much for joining. If you enjoyed this, please give a thumbs up. And just stay tuned to the channel for future Monday morning live streams. And please send me your pictures, whatever you do. I'd love to see them. I'll be including links that I shared down below also once this publishes. All right, everyone. Thanks a bunch. Take care. Bye.